I created a Minecraft animation in 24 hours, including animation, rendering, sound design, and dialogue. I was challenged to do this by my friend Boris, and my deadline was 24 hours. He challenged me to recreate the small scene from Family Guy. I can't show the entire thing here, but I will show you some pictures to get the idea. And also the video link will be in the description. And if I can't complete this animation in 24 hours, I have to give Boris my own keyboard, which is cheap, but I really like this keyboard, so I don't want to give it away. Which means that I'm gonna win this challenge. And if I win this challenge, Boris will give me, well, nothing. But anyway, let's get into the video. So my challenge was to not only recreate this whole scene, but also to make it child-friendly, as Family Guy is far from being child-friendly. And also I was making a Minecraft animation. It was March 23rd, 11 PM, and my deadline was March 24th, 11 PM. So I got to work right away. I got some tea and opened Blender, and then I started watching the reference. Then I determined that I needed a map of a tavern, 5 characters, and also some assets that the characters were holding. So I started setting up the scene. The first thing I needed was the map, but I didn't want to build it from scratch as I was running out of time, and also I'm a terrible builder. So I remembered that about 1 year ago, I built a small tavern for one of my animations, Abandoned Village. But I didn't end up using the map in the animation. So now I could use it because I still had it. I added the tavern inside one of the buildings of Novigrad map. Novigrad is an amazing and beautiful custom built map done by Elysium Fire. I will leave a link for the promo video as well as the map in the description. So I imported the map and started customizing it, and I got rid of all the parts that I would not use so that my scene would run faster. After that, I started importing the characters and assets. For the characters, I used the BPS rig version 4 by Squared Media. Link is in the description. And for the assets such as the tables, chairs, cups, and so on, I used the Boxscape Studios asset pack, which I appended, organized, and then customized to fit the scene. The link for that will be in the description as well. After I imported them, I was very excited and motivated to move on to the next steps. So for the animation I was making, I wanted the chair that Steve was sitting on to be shorter. So I had to make one leg shorter, which is why I had to go into the edit mode. So I went into the edit mode and selected the face of the chair and moved it up using G. But there was one problem. The chair texture was stretching in a weird way. But then I remembered that if you go into the option and enable correct face attributes, then it shouldn't have that problem. So I tried it again and it turned out great, and there were no more issues with the texture stretching. Now, the last thing I needed to do with the chair was that I had to move the origin in the front right leg, because it was moving its weight towards the back left leg, the one which was broken. So the way you can do that is first select the face of the chair and then click on Shift S, cursor to select it. Now go out of the edit mode, right click and set origin to 3D cursor. Now my origin was right where I wanted it, and if I rotate the chair, it moved in the proper direction. Then I started customizing the potion bottles, the buckets, and the wooden cup to make them look like the tavern dishes. After I did that, I positioned my characters and imported the skins. I used the skins which I already had on my PC, so I would not waste more time. Also, I customized the pirate Aiden character, which had his leg replaced with the chair leg. So I selected the lower left leg and scaled it to 0. Then parented the wooden chair leg to the left leg bone. Now it was time to add some lights into the scene as it looked pretty dark. I decided to use Eevee as I thought I was running out of time, so I wanted the rendering to be faster. So I switched to Eevee, created the sky texture, then I imported some area lamps and placed them outside the scene. I also added some point lights and placed them between the lamps to make them emit light. After that was done, I moved on to the dialogue. Since this scene from Family Guy had dialogue, I also needed the voice acting lines. So how would I get them? I had $0 budget, so I couldn't hire voice actors. So what did I do? I used 11 Labs. 11 Labs is an AI text-to-speech generator, but unlike many others, the sounds it generates are amazing, and they are super close to real-life human sounds. So I used 2 of their template sounds, and I also created my own sound, which you can do there. Then I wrote my dialogue lines in Google Docs, and I changed a few words because, you know, child-friendly. And then I simply copy-pasted them in 11 Labs, clicked on generate, and after a few tries, I downloaded the sounds I liked. If you want to use 11 Labs in your own animations or for some of your projects, then I will leave an affiliate link in the description. If you purchase using my link, you will be supporting the channel. After that, I organized the sounds in my audio folder, and then back in Blender, I went into the video editing panel and imported those sounds. Then I looked at the scene again, kept adjusting the details, and now it was time to start the animation process. But it was almost 1 AM and I had about 22 hours left. So, what did I do? That's right, I fell asleep. I had a good night's sleep because I was very confident for the next day. I woke up in the morning, got a cup of coffee, and went right back into my scene. It was around 10 AM and I had about 13 hours left to make the animation and render the scene. So without wasting any more time, I started animating. So I did the block out and only moved the camera and the character's root bones. I added a small detail where the camera transitions from Peter to the other two characters. Then after I was happy to block out, I started to add the animations along with lip sync. So I moved the chair and the character's body parts and animated the mouth as well. The way I animated the mouth wasn't the fastest or the most professional, but it worked for me. So here's how I did it. I listened to the audio and then placed the keyframes where the character was supposed to open and close the mouth. And also I lip synced the words myself in real life to see how the mouth was supposed to open and close and which position it would end up with and so on. And after following this method, I got something like this.
Ugh, this weird chair keeps wobbling. I think one of the legs is broken.
I used the same technique for my character and Pirate Aiden. I thought the animation was going to take a long time, but at around 1 PM I was done. So I did the viewport render and imported the footage in DaVinci Resolve, where I started adding the sound effects. This was probably the easiest part of the whole process. So, since I had about 7 hours left, I thought about switching from Eevee to Cycles and put a few hours into rendering. But I wasn't sure how long it would take. So, after about 10 seconds of overthinking, I decided to switch to Cycles and render my scene with better lighting. It took about 3 hours to render the entire animation. So while it was rendering, I went outside and touched some grass. Then I came back and had a few issues with the rendered result, but I fixed them quickly and re-rendered some parts. After the minor issues were fixed, I did a little bit of the color grading as well. Also, I added the small viral motion blur zoom out thingy in the opening scene to get the viewer's attention. And at around 7 PM, with 4 more hours to spare, I was done and my task was finished. The challenge was complete, but I still wanted to wait for my friend Boris to see what his opinion was. So after a few hours of binging horror stories and touching more grass, I called Boris. And here is the actual footage in 4K.
Ugh, this weird chair keeps wobbling. I think one of the legs is broken.
Pirate Aiden, I told you to fix that chair.
I checked it earlier. It seems fine.
Give us your review, Boris.
Good playing. This is really cool, man. I didn't expect it, no?
Thank you. So, judging from his reaction, I think he liked it. In fact, he liked it so much that he wanted to watch it again.
Nice.
Ugh, this weird chair keeps wobbling. I think one of the legs is broken.
Pirate Aiden, I told you to fix that chair.
I checked it earlier. It seems fine.
So there you have it. I think I passed the challenge successfully. What do you think, guys? And by the way, Boris also has a YouTube channel where he talks about AI, marketing, sales, productivity, and all other interesting stuff. So if you're interested in that, then be sure to check him out. The link will be in the description. If you liked the video, then you will also enjoy the breakdown of how I recreated the Five Nights at Freddy's movie trailer inside Minecraft. So click here to watch the video and I will see you there. Thank you for watching.